What's good, y'all? It's your boy, former NFL and AFL defensive back Eric Crocker, and of course, on this Tuesday evening, I'm joined by none other than the GOAT, the guy that we need to start a petition to get our guy Greg Panelli here into the Modesto Junior College Hall of Fame. All right. So right now, I hope Coach Stivers sees this. Coach Stivers, what are we doing? All-time leading touchdown passer. I'm pretty sure I butchered how to say that, but the most touchdowns ever thrown at Modesto Junior College. And on top of that, he's hurdling guys out there on the field, and they can't get my guy Greg Panelli in the MJC Hall of Fame. What is that about?
We'll see what happens. Hey, maybe one day. Maybe one
Hey,
day.
I will say this real quick. The bring the juice gear, the swag, the drip you got there, the hat, that's that's fire. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Frank Delane has got the Bring the Juice podcast. I'm sure he'll have you on at some point or another. But he's a
Oh
dude
yeah.
from out here in went to Fresno State, big time Bulldog guy, but has had pro athletes, coaches, trainers on, just in regards to basically just talking about what kind of motivates you, what makes you bring that juice every single week.
I
Uh,
like it.
it's an intense podcast. It's fun. Did it in person with him. He's had Coach Tedford on, professional boxers, like I said, pro athletes on there, all of that. So yeah, really good dude.
Right here we got Josue Torres. He says, "Where the rapper at?"
Man,
It's crazy
and
because
this
Donald, we FaceTime last night and he was like, "Hey, y'all going live? Like y'all going live?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going live." So I think he wants to be a part of it, but
oh yeah,
I didn't hit him
we
beforehand.
might have to have Donald the rapper come up with a song for us at some point or another, a little intro song.
Oh yeah, yeah, he
Um,
got music. He got
put that on
music.
him.
He got music. All right, man. So today we're coming on. You see, it's Twitter after dark, man. I got the dark room. I just got this one little light flat. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sucks. Still, my lighting sucks. But it's Twitter after dark. He got something poured up. I've had this in here for like 2 days, so I'm probably not gonna drink it. But we're gonna get into some 49er film and just kind of talk through what was going on and some of the things that concerned you with, not everybody's getting on Jimmy Garoppolo, but there were some other things that you saw. And I actually added a play to this because I have a question about a play just based on what a quarterback is thinking, right? And that's what we want to know. Everybody, they hear me talk every day, every morning. They hear me talk on Locked On 49ers, right? They get all this different insight on these different things in my perspective. But I guess I don't want to say I guess, but I try to have a educated guess on some of this stuff. But I like this because we get to talk to somebody who knows how this quarterback feels. Like, what does this feel like with what he's seeing? All right, so we're gonna boom bring up the film
Oh, you're
right
just
now.
diving. You're just going right into this stuff. Okay.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
disregard me sweating right now. I am. It's hot. It's hot as hell in
You,
Fresno still.
you
It's
know what? Hold on. We're gonna bring that back real quick. First, just
but
your
hold on. Let me tell him why I'm sweating because I was at my son's flag football game real quick, and I had to sprint my ass all the way from the field to the parking lot, drive my ass here, run from the car, get everything set up, and then I start panicking because the damn computer starts screwing up. But anyways,
no,
disregard
you're
that.
good though. You're good. You're
Okay.
here.
Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Uh, shoot, what was I gonna say?
Any comments? Any?
Oh, just why does Jimmy Garoppolo take so much heat?
I think the biggest thing,
Oh, oh,
and before I say this,
actually,
everybody's.
hold on. I asked you a question, but then I wasn't actually ready for the answer yet.
Oh,
I
my bad.
understand like some of it, right? And I think there are some people I was in the space on Twitter today, and they're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's like, look, everything that y'all are saying, I think Kyle Shanahan feels that. That's why he went into the season with Trey Lance as his starting quarterback. It's like, hey, this is our guy. We're riding with him. He's our guy. This is his team because of all the concerns that y'all have. And I think Kyle Shanahan understands what he has and what he doesn't have with Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's like, okay, I want to do
Right,
better. Well, whatever you were thinking about doing with Trey Lance, well, he got hurt. So
right.
what's the next best option? It is Jimmy Garoppolo. And there are a lot of people that are kind of talking crazy a little bit, talking about, oh man, just bench him, bring in Brock Purdy. I think they're jumping ship a little too soon. What are some of your thoughts on just the vibe surrounding Jimmy Garoppolo?
I think so. I'll say this. And Crocker and I have these conversations off air uh, for some good reason, and there's some things, and we've talked about this, that there's some things I'll say about quarterback play, and there's some things I won't. Being in the industry and training quarterbacks, I try and keep it professional to an extent because I don't want to mess up any
You
future
never know,
endeavors or
right?
whatever.
Like
You
you
never know
never
what
know
could
what
happen,
might
right?
come. Yeah.
So I try and stay a little bit. I try and stay a little bit out of the whole drama, but at the same time, and you know as well as I do, because I call you and we'll talk during the games or after the games. As a fan, I feel a lot of the same stuff and see a lot of the same stuff that you guys see, right? Or the normal 49er fan will see, as far as being pissed off and cussing and screaming at the TV. It's the same thing. But, one thing that I've learned over the years, and this is no defense for Jimmy, this goes for quarterback play all around the league and quarterback play in general. It's the most polarizing position in sports, right? Everybody knows who the hell the quarterback is. You might not be able to tell you the right guard and right tackle of the 49ers sometimes, but everybody knows who the quarterback is, regardless of the team, right? And everybody's looking for them for the answers. They're considered the leaders of the team. When the team does good, when they do bad, those things got to fall on their shoulders. And I know people are going to say, Jimmy didn't want to take responsibility and Trey did and this and that. Besides the point, like I'm not even going to waste my time on that because everybody has talked about that already. If you go into the Twitter world, everybody's already done that stuff. So the thing is he's the face of the team as of right now because people look at him for some type of leadership, some type of guidance. When shit hits the fan, you are looking at him in the huddle, and you have to buy into that guy, knowing that he's going to be the one that has to take you down the field, right? So he does. Jimmy does take a lot of heat, and it's not. I know damn well, regardless if it's Jimmy, if it's I know Josh this weekend. Josh took a lot of heat as well for some of the things that he did, and we might talk about a couple of those throws. So, there's a lot of different things that go on every game, but understand this too, and it's tough not to make assumptions. What you see on TV, and we talked earlier, what you see on TV live, it looks one way, and then you go back and watch the film, and it might look a little bit different. And I think that some people's opinions might change a little bit. And I'm not defending him, right? There is some things that he does that just make it makes me scratch my head as far as the decisions that Jimmy made. There's some things, some throws that he made that just make me think, what the hell is going on? And I was pretty pissed off watching it on Sunday. Monday. The game overall, was it? No, Sunday. I'm sorry. The game overall was just ugly from both offenses, right? You got a Hall of Fame quarterback on one side. The defense, the Niners defense was up his ass, right? And he looked, not much better than Jimmy Garoppolo did, right? Yeah, the ball pops out of his hand a little bit quicker, but everybody was saying, man, Russ is not the same. Russ, that wasn't the same Russ that the Niners are used to seeing, right? Now, on the flip side of that, the offense needs to take advantage of it not being the same Russ and the defense playing so damn well. Because the biggest thing for me is the thing that scares me, and I think that people are probably thinking the same thing. We have a Super Bowl caliber defense right now. And unfortunately, I don't want to be too down in the dumps about it, but unfortunately, it looks like one of those things. It's like, damn, this defense is going to waste right now. We're not taking advantage of the opportunities that the defense are giving us. Field position was shit, right? Go look at every drive. It damn near starts inside the 20-yard line for the most part. That ain't great, right? You got to drive 80 yards, 90 yards down the field every drive. It's going to be tough. The Niners punter, the special teams and the punt team did that to the Broncos, right? And the defense held their own, doesn't let them get past midfield the majority of the time, and the Niners just don't capitalize on it. So there was a lot of things, and we'll look into the game film, but there was a lot of things that were frustrating on offense, from the quarterback play to some of the receiver play, but definitely the O-line play. And I think that people will see that here. So I'm definitely not making excuses. I know people are going to say, "Oh, Jimmy, Greg loves Jimmy. He's making it." I'm not.
Yeah, they're coming
I'm
already.
not.
I knew
I'm
excuses
already knowing.
coming. No
And I'm not giving
excuses. So
excuses. I'm not giving excuses. And Croc can attest to it. I went off the other night, and I called him about it. And it's frustrating to watch. I feel the frustration too, right? So, but the situation is what it is. It's probably not changing anytime soon. So we got to see what we can do moving forward, and hopefully have some type of execution moving forward that's going to change a little bit. So that's kind of my take on it. But the biggest thing, and I will say this, we go watch, and I told you this the other day, we go watch the press conference, and Jimmy going into this offseason, right? He says his goodbyes after the Rams game and see you later, because he kind of knows, hey, he's getting pushed out. And so basically he gets the shaft. See you later. We got the rookie. He's in. He's the starter. No competition. That's it, right? And then Kyle the other day kind of saves face, right? He says Jimmy does this well, blah, 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 blah. He's one of the best throwers on the planet. And I took that. Jimmy is one of the best throwers on the planet, whether you believe it or not, right? And I'm not saying he is. In my opinion, I don't think that Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the best throwers on the planet. At least we haven't seen that. Now, is he a capable quarterback? Yes.
well,
But
technically he is, because he's one of 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. But in the sense of how
from
when
the
you hear
NFL
that,
perspective,
yeah, when you hear that as it pertains to the rest of the NFL, right, or the other NFL starters, like, no, he
yes.
is not in comparison
Right.
to the
So
elite
yes,
throwers of the NFL.
compared to a lot of other people, he is a way better thrower of the football. But when you talk about NFL elite quarterbacks and that class there, or that group of guys, I don't think he necessarily is. I think he's good enough to be there, right? But I don't. As far as when I think elite arm talent, make all throws on the field, I think of the obvious dudes, right? We all know who those types of guys are: the Rodgers, the Mahomes, the Joshes, the Russell Wilsons, even Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson is doing it this year. There's plenty of guys out there. My thing is, and what's frustrating is, if Jimmy is one of the best throwers in the game, why, if that's how you truly feel, then why does our offense look so limited? And why don't we just spread this ball out, or spread it out? Like, look at the Rams, right? Matt Stafford is a good thrower of the football. Why doesn't our offense push the ball down the field like the Rams do, right? It's the same coaching tree, McVay, Shanahan, but they tend to throw the ball down the field a little bit more. So then I'll just put that on Shanahan. Then if he is one of the best throwers of the football, then why are you limiting him? Prove it to us. Let's see it. Show us that he can actually make these throws in. Don't hold him back. If he is that guy and you believe in him, let's let him rip. Throw the ball down the damn field. But here we are watching the same type of concepts over and over and over again. And I'm not saying they're bad concepts, because they have to be executed by everybody. And there's some things in the film that we'll watch that look like, okay, that could have been a big play, could have been a great play call, wasn't executed from certain positions, or Jimmy, whatever it may be, right? So if you truly believe he's one of the better throwers in the game, let's see it. Show me the damn offense can open up and let him push the ball down the field. And if he can't do it, let's go right back to where we are right now, because we don't see him push the ball down the damn field. So people want to blame Jimmy, this and that and the other thing. That's fine. Great. I'll put a lot of throws on Jimmy, a lot of bad reads on Jimmy. But at the same time, you want to say he's the best thrower on the planet, let's open up the damn offense and stop playing games. That's just my take on it.
Just real quick before we get into the film, he says, when do you get to see Jimmy running audible? So as it pertains to an offense, right, and audibling, because I don't know anything about audibling, and I feel like when I was younger, there was more of that. And I mean, we see it with certain guys like Peyton Manning, right? He gets hit line of scrimmage, Omaha, he's flipping plays, he's changing into like a totally different play. I did hear Steve Young one time say he was talking about Kyle Shanahan's offense and how he would love to play in it
Yep.
because every play has the answer, right? Where and it's just on the quarterback to find the right answer. So maybe is
Right.
that why they potentially don't see audibling outside of when you hear like you see everybody do this. They're looking at. I know that's like maybe there's two plays called a run play, a pass play, and it's like okay, let's go with the pass play or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in the sense of just audibling into an entirely different offensive
Yeah,
play.
there is different. So, from my talks with multiple guys that have played with the 49ers, obviously, some of one of them was a quarterback that was on the team. Their take on it from being in the quarterback room was that the protection is typically set from the O line. Okay. So that's kind of the start of it. So that tells me that Kyle Shanahan does not. Now, this is speculation and hearsay, right? That Kyle Shanahan does not put the protection on Jimmy Garoppolo. He wants it to be on the O line. And it's not because Jimmy isn't capable, it's how he's done it. And they also said that they thought it was like that over in Atlanta as well. But you watch a lot of other guys, they have the abilities to change protection. I think he does have abilities to flip and change protections. He does make little changes here and here or here and there, and you'll hear him get up to the line of scrimmage sometimes and say, kill, kill, kill. But I do think that Kyle, when you go back and watch some of these clips, right, or some of the tape from back in the years where it's like Kyle Shanahan goes up to the ref and he's like, he's going to hold him on this play. I forget which play it is. I don't know if it was the Packers game or
Right.
the
I think it was
Chiefs
the
game. It was
Packers
one of
like
those ones.
playoffs, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and he said he's going to hold him on this play. He already knew what the hell was going to happen, right? He is an intelligent guy offensively, absolutely. But here we are saying like, there is different options on different plays. If they give you a too high look, you got to go to this side. If they give you a one high look, you got to go to this side. If they bring pressure, here's your hot check down, right? And it's the quarterback's responsibilities to recognize those things after you do get the play. And most teams do have in most plays, when you're pushing the ball down the field, are built for a one high side. So if there's one high safety or post field safety, or a post high safety, that they are built to go to a certain side. And if there is a too high look, right, or two safeties, you should be working on this side, right? So there's a one high beater, two high beater, there's your man beaters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, again, it's up to the quarterback to recognize those things. And that was one of my bones that I had to pick with Jimmy this week is the recognition of rolling safeties. And you watch these guys in the NFL, and especially when you hear it like on the, if you got, you're not even surround sound these days because those damn cameras and the microphones are so good, where you hear guys go through cadences, right? The wide 80, hot, and they give that hard cadence. They do that to see, like, if I'm a quarterback and I'm doing that cadence, and you're playing DB like you used to, I'm trying to get you to show me what you're going to do. If you bail out now, or if you push up forward and try and get whatever you may be, it's like cat and mouse, right? I'm trying to get you to show your hand before, and they use those cadences for that reason. And then it basically, you tip your hat. I know, okay, this is where I'm going to go with the ball based off of you tipping your hat. And I read a quote back in the day. I remember somebody, and I forget who said it, but they said Joe Montana knew where he was going with the ball 90% of the time before he even snapped the ball. It's such a huge advantage. And I feel like he knew that because he saw what the defenses were throwing at him. And on the flip side, sometimes I think that Jimmy knows where he's going with the ball 90% of the time before the ball is snapped, because
But
that's what he
doesn't
wants to
know
know with
what
the
he's
damn
getting
ball.
from the defense.
Just doesn't know where he's going to get.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it comes off. And it's frustrating as all hell to watch, but then there's things that he does where he'll get the ball out quick. He'll make a play. It's like he'll do something that's just, it makes you scratch your head, and he'll come back with something you're like, damn, okay, I like Jimmy. Or he gets it done. Or he keeps you just, it's like the cliffhanger thing. He just keeps you kind of wanting to see more some point or another. Like we get into under the 2 minutes the other day. I'm like, okay, Jimmy's about to cook right now. This is what he does. And then we fumble the ball in the middle of the field, and then just like, holy shit.
So
It's just terrible.
you got the same thinking as me. I think Jimmy does well in those moments, and everybody's like hell nah, he's trash. Like he's gonna be horrible. And I'm like, yeah, typically he does solid in these moments,
Right. But it's
especially if
like,
he has multiple opportunities at it.
right. But the frustrating part is, why the hell are we waiting for the last 2 minutes to turn the heat
Right.
on? Like, what are we
And
doing?
and almost like Tony Romo back in the day, where he'd have a bunch of come from behind wins, and you kind of
Yeah.
think like, well, why are you in this position anyways? And it's probably because of some BS that he did throughout the game. All right, but we're gonna get to the film now, and this
Yeah.
wasn't one of the plays that you originally added, but and there's about 8 plays I think in total, 8, 9 plays that we picked out. All right,
Yeah.
but this one here, a lot of people have talked about it and I wanted your input on it. All right, so right away, I want to know. All right, so you got 3x1 here. All right, you got bunch right, and you got 1-on-1, which I don't know. I've seen Kittle beat the cornerbacks man coverage, but I don't know how much I like that's like okay, this is my first read.
Right. And so first of all, so for those, and I'll try and describe some things and not get some people lost, because I know that there's some people watching the show that might have a high football IQ, and I know that there's some people watching the show that might not have very much football IQ, and that's okay. That's completely fine, right? So if you back it up just a split second, you'll see that the DB runs across the field with the motion there, right? So that's going to tell you right then and there that it's man coverage, right? So this number 6 right here is running across the field there instead of passing them off or whatever it may be. That's man coverage. Jimmy should know right now. Boom, man coverage. Now, if you look inside right now, pause. If you obviously have a pause, okay. Jimmy's eyes are looking right down the middle of the field. Now, there's 3-on-3 at the top. Okay, that play side safety. Go ahead and hit the robber there. The robber.
Right here.
Right there. Yep. So go ahead. That robber is coming downhill. Okay, this looks like cover 1 robber to me. Would you agree, Croc? I think that's cover 1
Yes.
robber, right?
It looks
Okay.
like cover. It looks like cover 1 robber, and then up here. So typically, let me rewind it back. All right. So you got bunch right. All right. Now because there's a bunch, and appreciate the contribution, Darius. He says we are in an antique relationship with Jimmy. Yeah.
Antique, unique. We can use whatever
Yeah.
whatever word you want to at this rate.
So typically versus a bunch, right? There's different ways that you could play it, but even if you're a man, right? So you got man here, you got man to this side, but now you're gonna have to do some kind of combo. So a lot of times, especially versus this, when I'm coaching, I would call combo 13. So we'd man up on the point man, and a lot of time we press the point man and then combo the back guys. All right, now.
Right.
So they did some kind of combo here, and the coverage, because a lot of people are like, well, he should have held the safety here with his eyes, and then no backside. Well, you got 1-on-1, and then he should have seen the busted coverage because there was a bust.
So this one right here,
the bust came from miscommunication with their combo. So that's where the bust came from.
I was going to say, so if you watch, and the only thing when I watched this tape earlier that confused me, I know it looks like robber. So you look at the play side safety, go back again, go to the robber there. Look at him pointing inside, right? So he's looking inside. He's trying to point to this other safety. This other safety that's playing here, the free safety on the backside, usually in one, especially in 3x1, he'll try and work more towards center field, right? He stays pretty much backpedaling right along the seam or along the hash. See it right there?
Yeah.
It looks like he's playing more of like a 2-high look, like a 2-man look, and they busted the coverage on the backside. So it looks like almost 2-man, and there's some confusion, right? Well, Jimmy is looking. Here's my issue with this, and this goes back to what I just said earlier. He doesn't throughout this whole tape, he doesn't seem to see the robber or the safety pulling down, pushing down into the middle of the field. So that robber right there that's playing, we can call him the free, the strong, whatever you want to call him. The free safety pushes down in the middle of the field, right? His job is to rob anything underneath. Okay, so Jimmy, instead of recognizing that the safeties aren't at the same level, and at the snap, he should see that.
Because that should be a dead giveaway, right? Like I'm looking for that. If I don't see 2 split safeties, and especially at the same level, like the first thing I would think is, oh well, this dude's rolling down, like it's
Right.
Robert.
So, yep.
That
As
would,
soon
I
as he
mean,
does
again,
that,
I'm not a quarterback, and so I'm asking you because I want to know how y'all minds work. But me, let's say I'm playing flag football and I'm back there at quarterback, and I see two high safety, then I see them at different levels. I'm assuming that this guy is rolling down. So if I already
right,
identified that as man coverage because I had one corner or defensive back go from one side of the field to the other, okay, we're in man. Then I see the guys at different levels, and I'm probably like, okay, either, and I'm gonna look at him because now my thing is, all right, either he's either showing this and then he's gonna bail into something else, and he's gonna show that he's coming down and then actually go back, or he actually does come back and he's a fucking robber, right?
right,
Like
right.
that,
So that's
I
the thing.
feel like that. I feel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost feels almost elementary.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's elementary, but that's I mean that's college level stuff right there, or this is college level stuff. You see this all the time in college, where this is not even considered an exotic coverage. This is cover one, robber, boom, he rolls down. So the first thing we teach our quarterbacks
And
typically,
he does.
we're
And
going to
real
look at.
quick, he doesn't even hold it. I mean, he comes down right now at the snap. So I mean, I would assume again we're looking at the safeties. I I'm confused with what he was looking at. Okay, so now okay, you're getting your too high picture. All right, I got you. You got four when he comes over. You got 4/3. All right, so I'll give you that. Once six goes over, you got 4/3. All right,
Right.
so now
Yep.
okay,
And
so
so
we
you
got
got,
four defenders over three. Okay, I got you. And then we got right
but
here
he already
basically.
starts, but he already starts rolling down. So at that point, when he left his mark and starts rolling down, the receivers even set out there, he's already starting to push down. So I know,
Right.
okay,
That's so
it's
it's like
man.
how do you not see that?
So then, so let's say he doesn't see it, whatever the hell it may be. As soon as you snap the ball, boom, your eyes are typically downfield on the first step to see if the safeties are rolling or not. But pre-snap read safeties, DBs, box check with the linebackers, front, whatever it may be. So right away, he does it. And I don't know if you took the end zone view on this one,
Yeah, I did.
but
I'll go to it.
okay. And you'll see his eyes look right down the middle of the field, and he like almost peeks it. So you'll see it right here. Okay. He should be able to recognize both safeties. One
Well,
under your
by this
peripheral.
time, to
He
be
does.
honest, he
He does.
already there is a slight peak right here. I mean, shoot,
Here, he
I'm
should
not gonna
know,
lie.
right?
He gets his eyes to Kittle right now.
He looks though for one split second, but you got to see in your first step here, right? You see this shit. I know I got you pushing vert. I might take a shot here, right? And again, we talked about this earlier too. We did talk about this. There is a 15-second clock going on in the headset. Okay, you never know what happens or what conversation is going on. This could be a thing where
Well, hold on.
Coach
They might not understand
Shanahan.
what you're saying. Tell them what
Okay, so
you're.
the quarterback has the guys with the green dot on the helmet. One on defense, which is usually it's the captain or the mic back or whatever the hell it may be, has a radio or earphone in his helmet, and the quarterback has an earphone in his helmet, right? And the coach that has the headset on, offensive coordinator, whoever the hell is calling the plays, radios in the play when they're in the huddle, and they hear it through their headset. That's why you'll see them do this sometimes when it's loud in stadiums, whatever, so they can hear the play. Okay, it cuts off with 15 seconds left, right? The play could come through, and this I'm not making an excuse, but the play could come through, and he might say, "Hey, peek the backside or peek Kittle on this one," right? And that's what now Jimmy's thinking. Okay, I got to peek Kittle because when I play football, and a lot of times I've seen it with offenses, you run to the sideline, coach gives you the play, boom, he's saying, "Hey, make sure you're looking on the, or this is going to be open on the backside, whatever the hell it may be, right? This is going to be open now. Coach wants you to look here." And you do what basically the coach is telling you. I'm not making an excuse for him because I don't know the conversation, but those things do
You're saying
happen
what could
sometimes.
potentially have happened.
That could potentially happen, but I'm not making the excuse because he jacks up this cover one robber probably 3 or 4 times this game. Okay. So this is a big miss and a big missed opportunity. As soon as he sees the safety roll down, you got to take the shot over the top. The dig routes, the in breaking routes over and over and over again. It's not. Again, Jimmy's got the best, one of the best arms on the planet. Well, let me see him throw that damn thing. What do you say all the time? Air the what?
Air that hoe out. All
Let's
right,
see it then.
so we spent a decent amount of time. All right, so here we go. This was actually the first pass play. All right, so this was the first one on your sheet on the in the message that you sent to me, where the 49ers go in the 8-man protection.
Yeah. Okay. So this was one of those ones, and this is kind of one of those like a head scratcher for me. I kind of get what he's doing, but here's one of those things with the play call that is like, what the hell? So stop it right there, Croc.
Okay, hold on.
Right here. Okay. This is our first pass play of the game. We got Brandon Ayuk. Is this Ayuk on the bottom right? Yeah, we got Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel on routes here.
Yeah.
Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people dropping. We got
Right.
2 options, a high-low on the corner here. So there's no threat. Here's the thing. The backers are going to drop to depth. Why? Well, there's no threat, right? There's nobody else pushing them on routes, so they can get as much depth as they want. Now you got a high-low on this corner on the bottom here. He doesn't have very many options on this, okay? It's either throw it to Ayuk or check it down on the swing route or the whatever, basically the swing route to Deebo. That's all you got. So
Do you think that there's any way that he could have potentially hit this at the top of his drop, or would you say no? That I mean, I know that's a layered throw there,
it's
but
a
like
layered
that's a
throw,
little
and
risky.
it's a risky throw because these backers, again, there's no threat underneath. There's nobody running a 6-yard stick route underneath to hold that backer at his 10-yard, 8-yard depth or whatever it may be to pull him down. So now he would have to make a layered throw basically on the money to hit this. It's just to me, it is what it is. It's not. It didn't seem like it was the greatest. Ended up working. If it throws a Deebo, whatever it may be, but it was one of those head scratches. Like, what the hell? How many we got? We got 8-man protection right here with these guys dropping 7. So we got a 4-man rush here, right? The 4-man. Yeah, we got a 4-man rush here with 8-man protection. So.
And a lot of times too on this, I think he's reading. I think he's actually reading the safety.
Yeah,
but
so
I could be wrong.
You would see through this play side backer here. Hold on, go back to it really quick.
More.
I'm trying to see here. Yeah, go. No, right there's fine. Go ahead and play it.
All right.
No, yeah, he's seeing basically you're seeing through the play side backer, number 2 outside. So the number 2 defender outside here would be right there. Yep, that's the number 2 defender. He's gonna read through number 2 to the play side safety. Play side safety rolls in the middle field. Number 2 is getting depth. Right now, it's a risky throw. He makes the right decision there, but it's just one of those ones that's like, what the hell is going on? And I think it was like a 1st and 10 on that, or 2nd and whatever it was.
Yeah,
but
it was like 2nd down.
Still, it was kind of one of those ones like, why do we need an 8-man protection in on this? Why isn't use check or like look at we got 3 on the right side here with Kittle, use check, and McGlinchey blocking 3 guys on 1 there. That one just kind of made me scratch my head. Like, why not Kittle run an under route right there to pull those backers down a little bit and probably opens up the lane for Jimmy to make that throw. Like if Kittle runs an under route at 4 or 5 yards there, now those the linebackers right there or the nickel has to respect that a little bit more, and that would open up the lane for Ayuk on that curl route or that deep comeback, deep curl, whatever it may be.
So you're kind of putting. I mean, obviously, the 49ers got the first down, right? Deebo Samuel did his thing, ran through some guys.
Right.
You're just saying, just in general, there's some questionable things with just the structure of it. If you want to hit that deep comeback.
Right. I was just like, the deep curl route, yeah, because he's turning back inside. It was just like, I don't know why you wouldn't just bring Kittle out and still have a 7-man protection there, right? So.
All right, here we go.
This is the second drive here. Was it 1st and 10?
I didn't write down there, but it looks like 1st down, and yeah, they need 10 yards to go. Well, of course, it's for 1st down. So yeah, pin 10. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
it's
this is
empty as well. You
it's
got empty
so
here.
that's what I was gonna say. So it's empty here, right? So empty. This is one of those ones where this was a good throw, right? This is empty. Scout protection versus a 3-man front. Okay. There's a post high zone. So you see there's it's zone coverage based off the alignment from the defenders, right? And you watch these guys dropping, they're dropping into zone. I think Jimmy does a good job of keeping his eye down the field on this one. He holds the play side safety, and if you want to go to the end zone camera, I think they'll be able to
Hey,
see it a little bit
what
better.
the heck is 23 doing? Bro, he's playing cover two or some
That's
kind
what I
of
was gonna
trap.
say. Yeah, he's playing like this. This realistically, theoretically, based off their alignments, right? This looks like okay. It's probably going to be cover 3, right?
Right.
And so the safety's rolling down. This is like a cover 3 buzz, right? Where he'll buzz
Right.
down
Like
to the
this is three. I mean, you got the single high. Yeah. But what the hell is he? Look at even like here, he's just going to punch with his outside hand. He's basically like, look,
yeah, and he's looking back inside still with no
yeah.
safety help over the top.
So that's why I'm like, is he like thinking that he's a trap defender? But look, there's nobody running vertical with. Now again, I don't expect Jimmy. Jimmy threw the ball with timing and rhythm, and I think he does that well for the
Yeah,
most part, right? And this is a good throw, nice layered throw as well over the backer. But I'm just confused at what the corner is doing. My bad. That's all.
yeah,
That's
and
all.
you'll be able to see the. Go ahead and go to the end zone camera on this one,
Yeah, I got you.
because after this, I think it gets pretty juicy. So you watch Jimmy hold the play. He'll hold that play side safety, the backer right there with
Yeah.
his
So you got
eyes.
his eyes here. Yeah,
Does
he's
a
looking
good
this way
job
to
of
hold
moving
the safety.
50, right? So 50 moves out of that lane. And here's the thing that Jimmy does really well. Boom, balls out with no wasted motion. That is Jimmy G to a T right there. Hold him, hold him, hold him. Balls out of his hands now. Quick release, money. Let's keep moving the chains, right?
How's the
This
footwork?
is everything's good. He's on time. Everything looks great right there. So that is great. But that's the thing is he plays in a rhythm. 1, 2, 3, boom, balls out. Quick little reset, balls out on time, and he does it right. So that is a good thing that Jimmy does well. And I put this in there. Obviously, I wanted to have some good plays and try and find some good takeaways from this. So
Yeah.
that was a good play that Jimmy did really well. So I think we have which one was this one?
Sack.
Yep. Okay. So, oh yeah. So this right here. Okay. So this one we'll talk about it real quick. So this right here is 3 jet protection. Okay. So the back's on the left side. The three in that call, 3 tells the back that he's on the back side or he's on the opposite of the slide. So 3 jet means the back's going to be on the left. If it was 2 jet, back would be on the right here.
Okay.
It's a half man, half slide protection. Man on the backside, slide from the center over typically. Okay. So the center over slide, the back is going to be on a dual scan inside out. This is a very popular protection in the West Coast offense. In other offenses, they might call it like 60 or 61 series, whatever it may be. But this is a 3 jet protection right here against a 30 front. So basically, they'll call this a 30 front, and they mix it and they do these exotic things now with, the stand-ups on the ends here. And Randy Gregory will be a stand-up, and sometimes he'll drop off into coverage, things like that. But regardless, this is a half man on the backside, slide on the front side protection here. So this is a half man, half slide protection.
All right.
And go ahead and go to the end zone camera on this one because I think
All
it'll
right.
be a little bit better here. So 3 jet, pause it real quick. So typically there's an overload right here. If you look, there's an overload to, and it's weird because I don't have the mouse. So I'm pointing in different directions
My
here.
bad.
So I apologize for no, it's
Overload
on
over
me.
here.
To the left, yeah, to the left side on the screen here, right?
Yeah.
So we got this again is a 6-man protection. Okay, scat would be a 5-man protection. This is 6-man protection. The from the center to McGlinchey is a full slide, right? And then use check is going to do a dual read from 47 to the outside, so that 47 to the most dangerous outside. Basically, they'll be responsible for like the 3 down to the will and then the running back is responsible for the Mike to the Sam dual read. Okay,
Gotcha.
a big leg or man on the backside there. Okay, so on this one, I believe they borrow the right guard because it's a 3-man, or excuse me, so it's overload and he's uncovered on this. So they're going to borrow, I believe, the left guard. They'll borrow him on this. Okay, so what's use check do? First thing, boom. Let's look at this.
Like you said, inside out, right?
Full protection. He's going to work inside out immediately. He's going to pick up his guy. Trent Williams got his guy, right? So now they're going to borrow the guard on the backside, and the center is helping out, right? So if you look at our center here, he's got hands on, and he's looking to the next most dangerous guy, right? So the right side of the line, Randy Gregory, right? So they do a stunt here. The defensive tackle there in the – go ahead and back it up a tad. So defensive tackle here, or the other edge rusher, this would be like a 5 technique, and the Randy Gregory's playing like a wide 9 or a 7, whatever they want to call it. There's no tight end attached, so be like a 7, and then the Randy Gregory's on a 7, and then the defensive tackle right there, the other D end, whatever you want to call him, because he's playing stand-up, is going to be playing in a 5 technique. But if you watch here, full slide, the center's going to help out. Pause it right now. Okay. Go back and pause it right at the stunt. So they're stunning right there. Pause right there. Randy Gregory wraps around, right? Look at our guard here. Our right guard has his back completely turned. McGlinchey's not picking him up. Now our center's trying to do a job where he's helping out inside, and now he's sliding to try and help out Randy Gregory. You got the defensive tackle running right through 600 and something pounds of offensive linemen. There's a huge issue on the right side of the O-line, a huge issue. And I don't want to say, hey, a lot of people want to say, oh, Jimmy's taking a sack and this and that. I don't care who you are. Any NFL quarterback you're putting back there, and we got this going on the right side of the O-line, there's going to be issues, right? It's not great. Not great O-line play on that right there.
All right. And was that kind of a theme, as far as like
that seemed to be like that's, and I talked about it. I put a tweet out earlier. It's like, everyone wants to put the blame on Jimmy. That's fine. Like I said, Jimmy did a lot of stuff that makes you scratch your head. But most of the time it's not one person that's just making this thing go. Everything's got to go together. You know as well as I do. Same with the defense, right? DB might do his damn job. Safety blows the coverage. Shit pops off on the backside, whatever the hell it may be, and everything's blown, right? So everybody's got to execute at the right time, and unfortunately, the defense got the best of them right there.
All right, here we go. So we got the screenplay.
Okay, so a lot of people are like, this is a high throw, right? I saw people right away. High throw. Here's the thing. Almost every single screen, and I go back to, and as well as I do, Croc, because we played together at junior college. Most of the screens that I threw were probably a little bit higher. Why? Because you got free rushers. The job for the offensive lineman is to basically get one hand on or touch him, whatever it may be, and release. And as the quarterback, it's your job to draw them into you. So most times you are releasing the ball higher because you get hands in your face. The ball has to be released high or sidearm, whatever it may be. The ball right here, if you're telling me that's a high ball, this is an elite level receiver in the NFL. Does he even jump for this?
He jumped.
He just looks like he wasn't
ground.
He looks like there you go. He looks like he's not even ready for the ball, right? Jimmy puts it on him. That's a perfect throw. That's fine. It's right here above his helmet, and it goes through his hands, right? Now pause it right here, right there. He catches that ball. Go ahead and go to the blockers, Croc. We got 5 guys out front. Go ahead and circle all the offensive linemen.
So you got Ray here. You got look like maybe Kittle here, maybe
whoever it may be. You got all those blockers, right?
That was Kittle.
You got Kittle there. You got our right tackle there. You get the right guard there. You get the center working up to the mic. If he catches this ball
and can get upfield, he got action.
It is off to the races. Poor execution. On Jennings, I'm not trying to roast him. It's just poor execution on Jennings, right? People are going to say that's a high ball. It's not a high ball. If you're telling me that's a high ball and he doesn't even leave the ground roughly to make this catch, we got serious issues.
Yeah, he
If
did
Jennings,
he did not
somebody,
get
somebody,
off the ground.
somebody said right here, Jennings is a tall receiver. If you throw it over him, it's high. That's not a high ball. That's definitely not a high ball. If he throws that any lower, guess what? Randy Gregory's batting the damn thing ball in front of his face.
Yeah, I think people are kind of missing Gregory right there in the passing lane. I don't think they're seeing him.
That ball is going to be batted down right in front of Jimmy's face. Okay, so that is I think it's poor execution, and I think that if you go ahead and ask Jennings on that one if he should have caught that ball or not, I would say that he probably should have caught it.
Yeah.
Somebody asked why would Jennings stutter step. He's probably pushing upfield really quick. So what they're trying to do is they'll stab upfield for 1 or 2 steps, try and get the DB off and soft a little bit, or try and get him to backpedal, and then basically they'll work underneath on the screen there. The second and long, right? It's 4 deep with 3 under. Defense does a great job here. Jimmy has solid movement. Basically has to check it down. Here's the thing. A lot of people, and this is one of those clips where it's like you're the couch kind of quarterback, and you look at it on tape or look at it on the TV, and you're like, damn, Debo's wide open on this, right? So if you go ahead and click play for 1 second and then pause it, right here. Okay, no, not even there. A little bit longer, right there. Okay, back it up to where Debo. So Debo's on the top here, running basically like a slot wheel or a slot fade there.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got pressure in his face. That's the first thing. People will say that he's wide open, right? Now, let's look at that play side free safety there on Debo's side. People say he's wide open. Let's say Jimmy just pulls the trigger and throws this ball. Right.
You have him right here over the numbers.
Right here. Okay, watch. Go ahead and play it for 1 split second longer. No. Okay, if Jimmy puts his foot in the ground right now, instead of throwing to Kittle, throws it to Debo. Watch how fast that play side safety puts his foot in the ground and makes a break on this on the ball, thinking it's going to Debo.
Oh yeah.
It would have been a pick. Like a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, damn, he should have thrown the ball to Debo." He puts his foot in the ground, and you know as well as I do, he does a great job. Change of direction is something different in the NFL, and the speed of those guys is a little bit different. He would have to throw that ball basically back shoulder, slow him down, and basically make a perfect throw in order to keep it away from that play side safety. Jimmy gets pressure here, does a great job.
And if he doesn't get moved, if Jimmy doesn't get moved off of his spot, he saw a color flash. I'll go to the other angle. I think he saw the color flash. He potentially could have stood in there. But he sees that. He saw that flash.
Right. And he slides, but he slides and then he takes his eyes off that side of the field for a split second. Right there. Took his eyes off. Right.
I saw that.
Now he's looking for the check down. He gets the ball out of his hands, but still, it's tough. And here's the thing,
is there a scenario where he could have slid right and then up in the pocket?
Yeah, and it's so tough. Like, here's the thing. Like, obviously I played quarterback and I train quarterbacks. It is so tough. And these guys, they're like, this is their job, right? They should be good at these things. And it's different when the bullets are flying and dudes are coming at you. It changes a lot of things, right? So he slides. He's looking for Kittle. At that rate, he's already seeing pressure. He's trying to find his check down instead of maybe sliding, keeping his eyes up the field and trying to punch a ball down the field. So he thought about it.
I would say, okay, so ideally, what would you like him to do here?
I'd say keep his eyes up the field, slide right and keep his eyes up the field versus just thinking about running right now. He thinks he's going to take off and then he gets the ball out of his hand. But you want to take the good side of it. Oh, look how fast he gets the ball once he puts his foot in the ground. It's right there. Yeah. Boom, ball's out and he gets contact. But, it's easy to coach it and say, hey, you should have done this from this when you're really not the person in here. So Here's the play that everybody wants to talk about, and I capitalized it in my notes. I took half of a page or more of notes on this damn play here. The screen, the infamous screen, the shit that nobody wants to see. This is like one of those ones, and I know you remember back in the day, you go play a game at some point or another, and coach will say, we're not even watching the game film. Like, it was so shitty this week. We're not even watching it.
Right.
Like, it was so bad. I don't even want to spend time watching. We're throwing the damn thing away. Let's move on. Right. But here's the damn screen that we've talked about. And at some point or another, like I was watching this today, I don't even know if this was a damn screen because it looks like a bunch of different shit is going on. Did you screen record these, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, because the quality looks kind of ass cheeks if I'm being real with you, but it's okay.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy. But
well, that's probably just, I don't know.
You know, I gave you the all 22 password, and I thought you were going to pull Bill.
That's not clear.
I'll leave it up to the fans to decide that one. But anyways, we'll go on with it. It's okay, Croc. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay, yeah.
Pause it right here.
Because somebody said it's clear. Jeffrey said it's clear.
Jeffrey, hey, you know what? You must got some good-ass internet because I don't know. But anyways, here's the thing.
You got to get off that McDonald's Wi-Fi. Oh, somebody else said fuzzy. Oh, no. Jeff said, yes, it's fuzzy.
There you go. See? All right, so let's just stop right here. This is going to be a whole.
Hold on, no. I'm not getting off this yet. William said it's clear.
All right.
All right,
let's look at the top here. Okay, we got Randy Gregory on the left side. It's really on the right side of the O-line, on the left side of the screen. He's the D end. Okay. Go back, Croc, before you even get to that. Kyle Juszczyk is, I believe he's got his hand in the ground on this one. Yeah, clearly fuzzy. That's a perfect description. I think that's Juszczyk. Watch him initially, before we even get to the left side of the line.
Right here. I think this is Juszczyk here.
Absolutely trashed on this one.
I think it's Juszczyk and maybe George Kittle next to each other.
Kittle, right. So he gets blown up. That's not great. Okay, typically if it's a screen route, so what makes me think that it's a screen is based off of how everybody is blocking. It looks like run on the left side of the O-line. Like everybody's taking a run step on the left side of the line. Juszczyk gets just tossed, okay? That's the first thing. Now, go ahead and go back. And I told you I don't like this play call in the end zone because it takes too long to develop. If it's a screen pass, pause it, Croc, real quick. If it's a screen pass, we talked about this a second ago, especially on play action. If the linemen are blocking screen, they try and get hands on for a split second, touch, whatever, to try and knock the D lineman for one split second, and they release up the field. Okay.
Right.
At that point, the quarterback's job is to draw the D lineman in and let the play develop. So now you throw it to the receiver, running back, whoever it may be.
Do you throw a screen on the line? Do you throw a screen on the 1 yard line?
It's risky. It's definitely risky. If it's off and soft, you might, but it's risky. Okay. Now, the reason why it's risky is because, again, the quarterback's responsibility is to draw the D lineman towards him. So he has to get depth. The play has to develop. He needs to get depth. Well, he doesn't have much opportunity to get depth, right? So he gets basically, Juszczyk gets blown up. Randy Gregory's going to be.
I'm going to show it from the back end.
Right here. So as soon as he turns his head, he's got Randy Gregory in his face. Now pause this really quick, okay? The O-linemen are supposed to get hands on, okay? The right side of the O-line, McGlinchey and Burford got destroyed. Both of them whiff on their block, okay? That was one of the notes I had right there. So McGlinchey and Burford both whiff. And that's not even working from the center over to the left guard. So McGlinchey and Burford right there, right guard to right tackle. Go ahead and play it for a split second and watch them whiff on this block. Dude runs right through both of them. Right through both of them. He runs and splits them both. How the hell, again, yes, Jimmy stepped out of bounds, but what in the hell is going on here? You get one guy setting and one guy trying to down block or whatever it may be, looking like a screenplay, and the D lineman he's not even in a 3 technique. He's like in a 4 or a 5 technique, whatever you want to call him, Go ahead and actually go back. I'm sorry. I don't know if he's. Okay, yeah. So he's basically, you call it like a 2-eye or whatever it may be. Yeah, or four eye. So he's in a 4-eye technique. 3 technique would be splitting the guard and the tackle there. He's in basically like a 4-eye technique. He steps inside and splits the guard and the tackle. Huge issue. Randy Gregory blows up use check. Now, by the time Jimmy turns his head around, the play hasn't even developed yet. And you got 2 guys in his face, right? Running back's not even out of the end zone.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a fake screen. I think it's a fake screen.
That's the only reason I thought that too, is because these guys
Kittle.
look like Kittle's out on a route. These guys all turn their backs. They'll stop right here. Stop right here. Look how many guys, no, go ahead and let it run through. Watch how many guys have their backs turned to us right here. Right there. Pause it. Now go ahead and click it one more second. Right there. You got O lineman looking backwards, and you got everybody else looking. You got Ross Dwelly right here. Excuse me. And Juszczyk looking backwards, basically stacked on top of each other. There's a ton of miscommunication, it looks like. Then go ahead and rewind it real quick. Let's go to the front side and watch Trent Williams get hurt here. You have the center that's blocking down, right? The center is pretty much the only one that does his job here. Destroys. Puts his ass in the ground. Trent Williams is trying to work upfield. Who's that, Chubb out there? So Trent Williams trying to work upfield. The guard tries to get hands. He stops. The center cleans him up. Trent Williams happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Realistically speaking, yes, you'd like to see Jimmy just throw the damn ball over his head, throw it out of bounds, whatever the hell it may be. But regardless, I definitely didn't like this play call here on the 2-yard line, backed up.
I think it's a fake screen. I think what he tried to do is sneak. I think he tried to sneak Kittle up and out this way. So I think he tried to show the screen here to get people to trigger, and he's going to sneak Kittle out. Now, it didn't work because somebody had good eyes. He had good eyes. He saw Kittle. But that's what I think he was trying to do. I think he was trying to set up a fake screen and throw the ball to Kittle. That's what I think he's trying to do.
And a lot of people are go back real quick. A lot of people are saying Ayuk is open here, and I'll leave that up to you, Croc. Ayuk is running an over route here, or like a climb route. Stop right there. If he peeks at Ayuk, look at the play side safety working downhill here.
Yeah, he's working downhill, and he's working back at an angle.
He's working back to depth. He would have to hit him on the – this is one of those ones where basically Ayuk would have probably left on the stretcher if Jimmy Garoppolo threw this one to him. Because by the time the ball hits Ayuk right here, the play side safety would have knocked his clock off.
Yeah, this guy, if Jimmy – because you see him driving right now, and Jimmy hasn't thrown the ball. So if Jimmy raises his arm to throw, that is a full-speed collision. Yeah,
he's leaving on the stretcher. So that should have been thrown away. Not a great play call. Let's go ahead and move on from this one. Just shitty all around.
So do we agree, though, that it was actually a fake screen here, and he was trying to sneak Kittle out?
Yeah, I would say maybe. But by the way that the running back is running, a wheel-ish screen. I don't even know what the hell was going on. Honestly, this one just looks shitty. Somebody said it looks like a busted play. Yeah, it does. It looks like a busted
Someone
play.
said it looked like they didn't practice it.
It was just poor. It was poor execution.
Hey, why he get dunked on like this though? By the like, how you let the defensive lineman, or whatever you want to call Chubb, how you let him just dog you like this at the catch point?
Oh no, I don't know.
All right, yeah, you gotta throw that play.
There's a lot of questions I have with this one.
Or at least don't do it on the 1-yard line.
Yep. So, anyways, on to the next one. This one right here is okay. Normally, this is now Trent Williams not in. Let's pause this real quick. Trent Williams is not in the game anymore. Okay. This is just a weak side blitz right here. So the will linebacker number 47.
You want this angle or you want the back view?
No, right here is fine for a split second. John Lynch out there. It looks like he's coming, right? He steps up. Let's go ahead and look at our left tackle on this one here. Juszczyk is staying in the block. There's clearly some type of miscommunication because Juszczyk is taking most dangerous on the end outside, and our left tackle is setting way outside. This guy has a clean shot onto Jimmy, and it's impressive that he gets the damn ball off because I'm holding my breath on like he's getting his clock cleaned, and he still gets the ball off. So, not great communication from the O line. It just it's one of those ones. It's head scratcher, right? It's a 4-man rush. We have 6 in the block, and we got one guy running completely free. So, yeah, Jimmy got smashed on that.
I want to apologize. I want to apologize to Jimmy on this play because when I saw it live, I said, like, dude, you gotta put that on him. I'm like, man, the ball floated, whatever. I must have not seen the replay, or maybe they didn't show the replay. But I'm like, dude, the ball floated. Like, you got to put it on him. By the time it got there, he got hit by a safety that made him bobble the ball, right? So we see him get hit, and boom, he bobbles it and then catches it, right? But they end up calling it incomplete. But I did not see the free runner. I didn't see the free runner at Jimmy.
Yeah, so he sits outside here, and it's like, what is going on? And here's the thing: a lot of people are going to say, "Hey, you're making excuses for Jimmy." I'm definitely not making excuses. I'll reiterate that there was a lot of missed calls. There was so much bad tape. Clearly, if you hold you hold the other team to 9 points, and we lose the game, there's poor execution all around on the offense. Right. There was a lot of misreads, a lot of missed assignments. You can't tell me right here, oh, you know what? Yeah, Jimmy just played like shit, and it's all on Jimmy. Well, let's take a look at the O-line here, and then I'll tell you some of the things that were going on. It's a 4-man rush with a 6-man protection.
Yeah, how do you
4-man rush, 6-man protection?
How do you have a 6-man protection?
We talked about the 2-jet or 3-jet protection. Basically, now you got use check that's up on the line here. Could be big on the backside. That left tackle should be taking the rusher. The left guard might help with the center, and then look back to the backside, and you got full slide on the front side, right? Is that what it looks like?
Hold on 1 second. Chris, I see your super chat. I started your super chat. I'm going to get to it when we get done with the film. Let me see. There's a couple more plays. Yeah,
there's only, I think we have like 3 more plays.
Yeah.
And we'll get to some questions and things like that. But, yeah, just not great execution from the offense at all. It's one of those ones that's just not great. I know that a lot of people probably just don't want to see it or whatever it may be. But now I think we got a 5-man protection here. It's one of those ones that's towards the end of the game. Not making any excuses for Jimmy. I just want to show – and this is kind of what happens, guys. So, like, you go into a team offensive meeting, right? You might watch tape. You're going to watch it from the receivers are going to watch it, the quarterbacks are going to watch it. Sometimes they'll watch it together, whatever it may be. I'm trying to give everybody a little bit of insight on different conversations that might be happening, different assignments that might have been missed, and not just talk about what happened with Jimmy Garoppolo, because we could show that for 5 minutes and be over the conversation because we've all seen it, right? So I'm trying to give people a little bit of a different view and a different take on the offense as a whole. So right here, it looks like it's a 5-man pressure. They overload the front side. They got 3 for 3. Juice is scanning again. I think this is that one, right? Is scanning inside out?
What is this pass? What are these route?
Oh no, this is a scat protection here. So it's empty pass pro, just pressure. That was the one I was gonna say. Okay, so.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. So now I'm kind of tripping right here with Jimmy though, and here's why. Maybe he didn't identify this as man or a match, right? But you got a linebacker, man to man on Ayuk,
right?
Going vertical with a robber safety to that side. So you got one-on-one vert here.
And that's why I talked about earlier.
How is that not your first read? Like if you look out there and then you see the safety drop down and you know maybe it's cover 3. If it's cover 3, then it's a 2-to-1 read by the corner. And then he picks up Ayuk. But it's not, I mean, like, I would assume, like, okay, this is what I'm reading. Right?
Yeah, no, and that's why I said he did a terrible
real
job
quick, let me tell people what let me tell people what I'm talking about here. Again, I'm not a quarterback, so I don't know about that. I'm just saying like how I would see it. You got two high safety, right? So when you got two high safety, I would see like first I'm thinking like okay, it's either like cover two, maybe two man, right? Maybe a cover four, depending on how their alignment is. But these guys are inside shade. So now I'm thinking these guys are kind of inside shade head up. That's probably man.
Right.
Or some sort of man match, right? So now I'm looking at all right, and I know we got empty here, but I have a linebacker man to man on Brandon Ayuk. So first I'm looking there first. like, or at least I know what Ayuk is running. I know Ayuk is running the go route, right? So again, I'm just trying to figure out how you would process this as a quarterback. I know Ayuk is going running the go route, and they got some sort of potential two man or whatever, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, go route two man. As soon as I see the safety come down, how do I not think right now I got fucking Ayuk on a linebacker?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So typically there's different things that will dictate whether you're looking at certain sides. Now, I will say this. When you're throwing when you're seeing rolling safeties, when you see a rolling safety, okay? So he sees a rolling safety right there. His eyes are down the middle of the field, okay? You would throw away from the roll. So the safety rolls down, you would probably get your eyes away from to the roll. So the rolling safety is rolling to the middle of the field. You might look right. But you have a linebacker on Brandon Ayuk, man-to-man coverage. That should tell you, okay, now the rules change on this one. It's going to change a little bit.
And right here, I see his strike. He is looking right down the middle of the field. So he's got to see this rolling safety.
You've got to be able to see the rolling safety and see the damn matchup here on the left. This is all film review stuff. You got to be able to. Now, this is one of those ones I wrote. Again, everybody's saying he should have stepped up. This is one of those ones where you got to push up or you're rolling outside, whatever it may be. Again, left tackle gets beat.
You got to push up because you got to know who you are.
You got to push up.
You're not running away from anybody.
No, not by any means. And again, he's probably not seeing, again, his eyes are downfield. He's not seeing the backside pressure. He got to have trust in the left tackle. And this is a different left tackle now than there was, 15 minutes ago. Now we got a different left tackle in the game. So he gets beat from Randy Gregory, who had a damn field day all day against us. Jimmy tries to push out because he sees McGlinchey get pushed inside. So he wants to roll out instead of pushing up. It's a shit show.
For all the things, and there's a lot of youthfulness with Trey Lance, but when you go back to this kind of look, and when he had Danny Gray matched up with his safety playing off, and man, he let that hole rip.
Mm-hmm.
He ripped it. Right? Now that's what we're talking about, 75-yard touchdown, right? So how is my young quarterback making that read, identifying what he has and the matchup that he has, but my 9-year vet, Jimmy Garoppolo, is not? Right. How is that?
Yeah,
how does that happen?
That's the tough thing. And the issue is, or I think the reason where you go get a guy like Trey Lance is because when shit crumbles right there in the pocket, now it's Trey's abilities rise and he can make a play on the run. He might push up.
I think Trey Lance right here is standing in there and he's throwing his hoe. I think he's throwing.
Yeah.
When he had Jawan Jennings, and for everybody, whatever they say in the Bears game, right? Jawan Jennings in the slot. Dude threw. We looked at it, right? We looked at that film.
Yeah.
And he threw the ball when Jawan Jennings was he even with the DB yet?
No, he threw it. He anticipated it, threw it over the top and let it go.
So why is my young guy, Trey Lance, who everybody says all these issues, why is he letting these rip and Jimmy isn't?
This right here, it starts, the thing is it doesn't even, it's not even post-snap. It starts pre-snap with number 47 over your receiver, which is clearly a mismatch.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the first thing I'm looking at. Okay, what do I have here? Okay, I got a linebacker over Ayuk. Here's the reason why it starts with 47 is because I know I got a go route from him or slot fade, whatever you want to call it. I know I got a slot fade with him,
Yep.
right? So off top, if I know I got a slot fade, the only thing I'm thinking is, I mean, this has got to be my first read because I'm looking and I'm just seeing what's this corner gonna do? Because especially if he rolls down and maybe he goes to the middle, is it cover three? And if it's cover three, then okay, it's a 2-1 read. Then okay, I go elsewhere.
Right.
But if it's not, I have Ayuk running a vert on John Lynch Jr.
Yep. You ain't lying.
That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Because
Yep.
what we're talking about here is this is game on the line right here.
Yep. Yep.
I can't.
There's not.
I can't.
This is just one of those things that starts pre-snap film recognition, defensive recognition.
Look at him. I mean, and he's struggling from the jump. Look at him. Look at him. Oh no. Like, bro, what? You don't even, we talked about him having to step up in the pocket, right? Like, hey, step up in the pocket, step up in the pocket. He doesn't have to step up in the pocket right now. Trey Lance let this whole rip.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of
like
people
we've seen it. Like we saw him do it. This same look, he let it rip.
Right. And this is a play. This is one of those ones. Like, okay, this was a great matchup. This was solid right here. It should have happened, but it didn't.
I don't even care if it's let's say Ayuk is over here and he has this DB on him, and if he missed that, like, all right, because you're looking at something else. Okay, I get it. But you got John Lynch Jr. on him. That's actually a linebacker, so he's probably not even as athletic as John Lynch. And you know he's running the vert.
Yep.
And we should know he's running the vert too. Why? Because you got him on the ball and him off the ball. So typically if you got typically he's running to clear something out underneath for this guy, but it lets him get upfield first. All right, so just so y'all know. But I can't let him. So for all the bad stuff that happened in this game, he had a chance to be the hero. Yeah. He had a chance to be the hero.
There was multiple chances for sure.
For all the bad stuff, for everything, and all right, Jimmy, like let's just clean this stuff up. You're going in. You just won. It was rough. Had some weird moments. Through the pick 8, right? The safety and the pick 6 at the same time. Like you had all these weird moments happen, and you had a chance to be the hero. And we would, okay, yeah, it was a weird moment. Okay, but you won. So, all right, like let's clean things up and move on to LA. You had the opportunity just off of some, like, if I'm a flag football quarterback and I see a linebacker over my guy, that's the first thing I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. They must be trying some trickery, but I'm gonna act like I don't see it. Right? That's what Aaron. Hold on. So you motherfuckers see my face. Hold on. This is one of those. All right. This is one of those where Aaron Rodgers, right? He's gonna see it, but this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna act like he doesn't see it. Right? Like, that's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, all right, so Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, oh, you can't even see my face. If I
come on. Are you in your boxer?
No, it's just, you know what I'm saying, a little short. See, don't worry
about it. Whoa.
Don't worry about
this man's in his damn chones right now.
Nah, man, just, nah. Okay, don't worry about me.
For that one. Hold on.
I was chilling just now, all right?
Late
it's
night
nighttime.
Rocky is got something else going on.
All right,
I need some more drink. Keep going. I'm listening.
Go ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to y'all right now. This play is one of those where I can't have the porn star mustache guy. All right, but anyways, this play is one of those where Aaron Rodgers gets up there and he sees it. I see it. Like, y'all see it, right? Like, we all see this. I have a linebacker over Ayuk. I know Ayuk is running the go route. I know that, right? So I'm just going to act like I don't see it. And maybe it's not, man. Maybe it's, but at least let me find out. And once he rolls down, once that safety rolls down, you let it rip. And I would let him off the hook. I would say, you know what? Maybe the read to this side or whatever. Dude, all that's off the table. And I saw the young guy do it. The guy that doesn't give you as good of a chance to win as Jimmy Garoppolo.
Coach went to get some more drink.
I've seen him
I need some
multiple times.
more alcohol for this.
I've seen the young kid, Trey Lance, multiple times this year, 2022 season, right? Preseason against Green Bay, week 1 against Chicago. I've seen him multiple times now get that look and say, I'm airing his hoe out and drop one on him. And Jimmy Garoppolo, the 9-year veteran that gives you the best chance to win, with John Lynch Jr. on Brandon Ayuk running the go route, doesn't throw it. I'm kind of upset I just saw this. I'm not going to lie. I'm upset.
Let's go. I needed more drink to after watching that. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Right. And then we can get to some of these questions.
Okay.
Because
appreciate the contribution here. So we got this one, but I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna hold off on that, Chris. All right. I got you, Chris. We're gonna come back to it. But okay, real quick before we move on to the next one, because we are gonna move on. All right, I gotta train some athletes at 6 a.m. and it's already 11 p.m. What is Jimmy? Why did Jimmy? I can't even get it out. Why didn't Jimmy identify that?
That's just, it's one of those head scratchers, right? Like as a quarterback coach, you watched Ken Dorsey. They just slamming the tablet and slamming shit into the, in the press box. It's one of those ones that I'm sure that Kyle's thinking, what the hell? Like we had the matchup. That was the perfect dialed up play. Take the shot. What are we doing? I don't have an answer for you, right? If I was in the quarterback room, I might be able to say, hey, what the hell's going on with this play? I don't have an answer for you. You see that matchup, I'm going to take that 10 out of 10 times.
You just do the Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers would like see it, like, okay, these motherfuckers is tripping, and he just act like he doesn't see it, right? Just kind of get that look, a little, all right, you know what I'm saying? And then, did you see the play when there was a play in the Bronco game where the fade was coming, and it's like, dude, y'all didn't watch the mic'd up. I heard Tyler Lockett when the Seahawks were playing against. The Broncos, right? You got Russell Wilson all there. And on the mic'd up, Tyler Lockett sees Russ do and he's like, hey, it's a fade. It's a fade. He's running the go route. Right? He's running the go route. And then dude ran a go route. And he's like, dude, he didn't change his signs. It's the same sign. Right? So then I see a receiver out there. I think it was Cortland Sutton. And Russell Wilson acts like he doesn't see him, but he gives him the, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, I'm coming to you. And they threw the back shoulder.
Yep. And a lot of times you don't have to necessarily look at the receiver. You can just tap the helmet.
And look, okay, so these are things that I tell my young DBs, all right? These are things I tell not my young DBs, my young receivers, right? When I'm coaching offense, because I call plays, right? I mean, I'm like, what's his name? Matt Patricia Crocky. All right. When you have a flat-footed defender, you run by his ass. He is flat-footed. This is as flat-footed as it gets. He's flat-footed too, but he's flat-footed and he's in the gray area.
Hold on, Croc. They can't see it. They can't see it.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Hold on. All right, here we go. This guy here, y'all. This is.
By the way, I didn't anticipate spending 20 minutes on this one right here.
Oh, it pissed me off because this is the game.
There's more though. There's more. That's what's crazy. It's like,
okay,
wait, there's more. That is the game.
But I think this pissed me off because
it's a gimme. It's a gimme. That's why it pissed you off. It's a gimme. It pissed me off too.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones. It's like, just throw the fucking ball, excuse my language, but throw the damn ball up in the air 30 yards down the field, and he's going to run underneath the damn thing and catch it. Right?
All right. I'm going to move off of this, but just know that. So, now here's the tough thing, because Chris has a question, and we will get back to your question. Would you say Kyle Shanahan got out-coached? And I'm going to remove that. We're going to get back to that. But when I see things like this, I need my quarterback to see it.
Right. They can. So here's the thing, and this again, what I said earlier, what I said about things that irritated me about what Jimmy did and not recognizing play side safeties or rolling safeties, cover one robbers, cover three buzz, or cover three sky, whatever it may be, where the safety is rotating to the center of the field and one safety is pushing down into the box, to the flat, whatever it may be. He did not do a good job of seeing those safeties roll
Right
down in the
now,
box or to the flat.
right now, I got it. Right now, I wouldn't. I couldn't throw this fast enough. Like right now, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like that, I feel like it would be at this point here is just throw it out there and let him run underneath it. You don't gotta make the perfect throw.
Yep.
That's what it's gotta be. Once I see the safety come down, I already know I got meant. Like I see the safety, the corner here, the corner he's squared up, bro. He's man. So it's not three.
Yep.
Ah,
This is just poor
fuck.
execution. Jimmy's got to let that ball go now, before he even has to push down the pocket. Throw the ball up to the sideline, wherever.
I'm
I mean, it's
moving
one of
off
those
of
ones
that.
you just throw it over the top, and we probably have a touchdown here.
I hate that I saw that.
So on to the next one here. I believe I don't even know where we're at right now with the play
All right,
calls.
my bad. So here we go. I'll play it through, then we'll go back. Oh, Mike Glitchy. I think that's what we're on.
This might be another one, and I hate
Well, hold
to
on.
pick
Let
on
me
him,
see.
but I
I'm
know
trying to see. So George Kittle, he's running. He must just be running it clear out. Because look how. Oh, that's not even. Yeah, George Kittle right here. Oh, and then the receiver fell. Yeah, there's a lot of
Go
crappy
ahead.
stuff going on.
Let's go ahead and go into the end zone view of this one.
All right, yeah. They got tight split to both
People
sides.
were saying, "Oh, this ball's behind. This ball's behind." I think this is where he just threw it to Ayuk. I couldn't really see because again it's blurry on my screen, but I'm going to leave that out of this one. Yeah, okay, it's blurry. Okay, he throws it behind. Now, yeah, could he have thrown it in front of him? Probably, hopefully, maybe, whatever the hell it may be. But
I mean, but he threw it like hella far behind him.
no,
Now,
I get that. Now there's pressure in his face. Now that's
Yeah.
going to skew things. You get pressure in your face. I don't care what anybody says. In the chat, outside the chat, parents, whatever. I work with quarterbacks all the time. When you have somebody 300 pounds in your face, 280 pounds running right at your ass, things change. You tighten up a little bit. You get a little stiff throwing the ball. You're flinching, whatever it may be. I don't care if you're Tom Brady or if it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, you're going to act a little bit different than what it would be if you had a clear lane to throw the ball. Now, go ahead and look at the right side of the O-line here. You can't tell me that this thing is completely, let's just, Jimmy made a shitty throw. Was it a shitty throw? Absolutely. But what's going on with the right side of the O-line? You got Juszczyk helping inside. Again, this looks like this is a scan protection for Juszczyk. He's going to work inside out. He steps inside right away. Boom. He's going to take most dangerous. Okay. The right guard should be helping out with McGlinchey on the backside here, or excuse me, on the front side with Juszczyk. The right guard sets outside. Pause it right here. No, go back, Croc.
yeah, why'd he do that?
He sets. Juszczyk's coming inside on a dual read. Boom.
Maybe he thought Juszczyk was gonna like, okay, I'm gonna check him, I'm gonna slide back inside, and Juszczyk's gonna pick him up.
Yeah, but
That's me speculating.
But Juszczyk, at the same time, he should know that Juszczyk's got a dual scan or dual read on this, and he's going to work inside out on the protection. So he's going to work most dangerous. That's most dangerous. He comes, boom. Right guard sets outside. Okay, to help out McGlinchey. McGlinchey should work to Gregory. The right guard bails on the protection, goes back inside. Now we got two guys blocking one, and then there's two guys. McGlinchey gets his ass mowed. Terrible, shitty job with the O-line. Wasn't great. Tired of seeing the same shit over and over from the right side of the O-line. I hate to be like that because I really do. Like, I get it. These guys are professional athletes. This is their job. It's not an easy position to play, but it's just terrible. Terrible.
Part of it, I think, for him here, because you got a rookie here, and then you got a guy here who took like 5 snaps as a rookie. last year.
Right.
So, I mean, you
Yep.
are very youthful here. So, with Burford, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things where, it's happening fast. He played tackle his last couple years of
Oh,
college.
I
Like,
get that. No, I get that.
but
I
this guy,
understand that those things are going to happen. That's my
but this
issue.
guy got an anchor down.
You're 6'7", 340 pounds or whatever the hell, 320 pounds. You're built like a brick shit house. You went to Notre Dame, and here's the thing. And here's Swag Crocky, the swag doctor, the swag criticizer, whatever it may be. If you are going to wear, you know as well as I do, that nasty ass crossbar down the middle,
Yeah, you
face
got to be a
mask,
nasty motherfucker.
you better be a damn dog on the O-line. Just like if you're playing Mike Backer, Penn State, throw the neck roll on, and you are just holding it. You're probably wearing number 10 to 19, playing middle backer at Penn State.
Right.
I'm already knowing he's a damn dog because he just looks the part. If you're going to play, you're going to wear that damn face mask, one of the few O-linemen left in the NFL wearing it, you better be a damn dog at right tackle.
Somebody said, play it again, play it again.
Just getting mowed. Like, what are we doing?
So
it's shit O-line play. It's shit O-line play. That's the bottom line. You can say what you want. That's fine. Shitty throw. Yep, throws it behind. Step into the ball, Jimmy. You're going to take contact. You're in the NFL. You already know, hey, this is my job. I know I'm going to get my ass smacked at some point or another. Step into the throw. Let's make the throw, first of all. Okay? But, again, if the freaking right tackle doesn't get completely mowed over and the right guard actually steps outside the block, we're probably pretty decent on protection. And then you go ahead and look at the left tackle chasing Nick Chubb all the way around the edge. So
somebody said that's on Burford. And it is on Burford, but I mean, it's on Burford and McGlinchey.
Yeah, it's on. Look at again. Go ahead and look at the left tackle. And he's getting hit regardless. Do you really? No matter if it's Jimmy, no matter if it's Trey, no matter if it's Pat Mahomes, no matter who the hell it is, do you really want your quarterback getting hit on 85%, 90% of the freaking pass attempts?
And I think
that's what it was. It was like perfect recipe for getting your quarterback smacked every single time.
Trey Lance might have even held on to that. And then the funny thing is because Debo's upset. Look at Debo.
Rightfully so. Like, I don't blame him. Yeah, he's running across the field full speed. He catches the ball. He's taking off to the races.
But Debo,
right?
But I know he's one of the guys that wanted Jimmy in there.
And that's fine. Again, I wanted. You know what? You're rolling with Trey. Give me Trey then. Let's see Trey. Let's let him freaking rip it. He goes down. I'm like, shit. And here's the thing. This is going off topic here. Jimmy shows up, right? He shows up to this game in that damn suit with that little roller suitcase. And I'm like, oh, shit. I even sent it to my wife, right? I'm like, I already know she got the hots for Jimmy. Yeah. Like, Jimmy, no, I almost said it. No,
yeah, I got you. Pause. Yeah.
Pause. Jimmy's he's a bad dude, right? He looks the
handsome
part.
guy.
He's a handsome guy. And he shows up in that suit looking like 135 or 138, whatever the hell his contract was prior, $1 million bucks. He's looking the part.
Suit outside of my price range for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at him like, oh, it's going down tonight. Jimmy looks ready to rock and roll. Like, here we go. And this is we got. It looks like an NL West matchup here, 11-10 score. The Rockies versus the Giants is what we saw.
Yeah,
like it was dog shit. It was just shit, overall shit on the offense. So, anyways, on to the next play. I think it's a quick screen. This is a quick screen left here to Deebo Samuel. So, before you get into it, everybody's going to say again, this was a high pass here. Now, let's talk about, we just talked about this earlier for Jennings. This is the here.
No phones in the meeting.
I'm still doing the podcast. Yep, I'm still doing it right now. So I love
you.
We're
almost done.
And I'll talk to you here soon. Crocker says, you got to chill. Late night Croc is on something different right now. So I love you. And I got to go, okay? I don't know. You can bring him home if you want. She's driving around right now, so the kids aren't in the house because my office is not done at the facility. So she's trying to keep the kids out of the house so they're not wild now.
Oh, they
Anyways,
come in, man. Tell her come in, man.
So talked about screen game earlier. Try and get hands on the defensive end, hand on the D lineman for a split second. Boom, you're going to chip them, and then you're off to the races, up to the next level blocking here. Most of these screen passes are probably going to be a little bit higher because you have to throw it over somebody. As a quarterback, you let them – you're basically sucking in the defense, and then you throw it over the top. Go ahead and watch Kittle here.
Pause. Go ahead, though.
You're bringing the defense in.
Sucking in the D. You just said that.
Late night croc. Hashtag late night croc.
Bro, you can't. You're like permanent late night with the mustache.
You know what? Like these guys hear the PG, maybe PG-13 rated. And you hear the R rated usually. So I try and keep it a little bit PG. 18 plus. Yeah, 18 plus here. I'm not. I think of so many things when I'm doing quarterback drills, and I'm like, hey, you gotta. I'm not, never mind. I'm not.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I've had the maker's mark.
So, did I tell you about some of the stories with Rex Ryan?
No.
Like some of the things Rex Ryan would say to us to get us to like remember a play. All right. So we're gonna go off the rails here for just a second. All right. And I'm gonna try to keep it as PG as possible. All right. So hey, real quick, if you have any kids, either send them out the room or mute me for a second. All right, but we're going to get into, a little Eric Crocker Jet story.
You do remember this is going to be online here.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, we're good.
All right.
Go for
it. Shoot. All right, so.
We've already gone this far.
All right, yeah, we are. We're in there. We're knee deep. All right. So, so Rex Ryan, bro, so we in the meeting, right? We're in the meeting. And he's like, all right, guys. How many of you like bald pussy? So, guys, guys raise their hand or whatever, right? And, I'm raising my hand. Hell yeah, you feel me? All right. Then he says, all right, how many of y'all like a little landing strip on the pussy? Right? So guys are like, oh, I like a little landing strip, And then he's like, how many of y'all like a muff? And I'm thinking like, what the fuck is a muff? Right? Like, I'm like, what like, I don't even know what a muff is, right? And so one of the coaches raised his hand. He's like, yeah, see, he's old school. Like, you know what I'm saying? We like that muff. I'm like, what's a muff? I don't even know what a muff is. You know what I'm saying? So, it's so then the play was called Show Muff, yada, yada, yada. But I say all that to say, like, his teaching tactics were so great. There was one more. Okay, I'll tell one more story real quick, y'all. All right, I know the wife is driving around right now. So
I told her, I said, it's just coming at this rate. You bring them up.
Just come in. Yeah, just come in. All right. So we're in the meetings. All right, guys. All right. Every time you hear that, all right, there's a story coming. He was like, so it's a defensive play, right? And he's like, you all went to college. And he's like, there was always that one girl, right? She goes from one room to the next room and, she's doing the do with all the guys, right? And this play here is called One Train, blah, 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 right? Like he calls it One Train because the defensive lineman goes from one hole to the next hole. So like he like goes over, and then he finally like goes through. But he's going through like each hole. So like that was his thing with like the girl going from room to room. He calls it One Train. And I'm like, okay. But like, bro, it's been 9 years. I still remember that.
Just a hell of a way to motivate and to get guys to pay attention there, huh?
He's great. Rex Ryan, hands down, the best coach I've ever been around. Hands down, best coach I've ever been around. I mean, he, the way that he taught, he was an amazing teacher. All right. His motivational tactics, great. Player coach. Hey, coach, man. I remember Calvin Pace. Coach, can I drop into cover? All right, hey, we'll try it. Now, if it doesn't work, we're scrapping it. But, like, so he took advice, like, okay, you guys want to try this, you want to try that. Like, it's like, first of all, his dad created the defense. Buddy
Right.
Ryan, his dad created the defense. And he's giving guys the opportunity to, all right, like, okay, we'll try this, we'll try that. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking. Hey, Croc, I heard you had your teeth pulled. I had two teeth pulled. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I had two teeth pulled. Right, I was having some crazy toothaches, and he's like, "Man, that
You're
must have
silver
hurt." But it
tooth
was
bandit
like,
as a kid growing up in Stockton, huh?
but like when you're at the bottom of the roster, most of the bottom of the roster guys, like you're a number. All right, 41. Why you woo woo woo? I mean, it's like it says my name on the back of my jersey, like my practice jersey. Like you can call me Croc, you can call me Croc, but he called me by my name, and it was just like he was. And then he told this story, man. Like I remember we reported for training camp, and he told this story, man, about like trying to fight. I think it was like New York Giants players or something like that. And he's like, dude, I don't need nobody. Like, I mean, I got teary eyed, bro. I'm like, damn, he's out there. He's teary eyed. I'm teary eyed. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, you feel me? I mean, Rex was great. Rex was great. All right, but anyways, all right, back to the
Yeah,
film. Sorry,
let's get
guys.
to screen. Let's get to
He must be looking at the wifey.
no, it's the kids here. They're coming over here like they're gonna come wild now on the camera.
Oh, they're good.
So we have the quick screen left here. Again, DN is in the lane here. Okay, so the ball automatically is going to have to be layered over the top. That's the biggest thing. Okay, Chubb is coming off the edge. The ball's got to be over the top, and we have a good setup from Kittle to the left tackle to the guard to the center. They're all working outside. Okay, now a lot of people are going to say this is high. Again, it has to be high because look at where Chubb is. He got to put on. Now, here's the thing. Let's go back to Deebo Samuel. What does he get? $58 million guaranteed, $75 million contract. I don't think in my mind does the effort here on this attempt to catch the ball look like a $58 million effort, guaranteed money.
I mean, it's high.
When I look back, it is a little bit high, but again, it has to be high because
yeah. So let's just say that Chubb made a great play.
Let's say Chubb gets his hand up, but again, if we execute here, maybe they get hands on Chubb. Maybe Kittle knocks him off his mark, right? For a split second, boom, he gets hands on Chubb, touches him, whatever it may be. Maybe Chubb's not pushing up the field as hard. He gets free release. Nobody gets hands on him. And now what happens? Jimmy has to throw the ball a little bit higher because he's sitting in the lane. If he throws it lower, it's going to hit Chubb right in the face mask, right? So you got to layer the ball a little bit over the top. Now Deebo goes and does this little 1 foot jump, throws up one hand like he's going to catch that ball one-handed.
Right. Yeah. And I get on my guys about, bring two hands.
Like I looked at it earlier in the all 22 and it looked a little bit more clear on this, right? But the way he jumped, he may be 5-6 inches off the damn ground to attempt to catch this ball here.
It was kind of hot too, I'm not gonna lie.
It was a little bit higher, but again, it has to be higher.
No, not high. I mean, it was kind of high, but it was kind of hot too, though.
Yeah, it was a hot throw. He threw it a little bit harder. But anyways, if he
he couldn't put a little bit more touch on that. I'm asking, I don't know.
No, I think he could have, but you're trying to get him the ball quickly, get him the ball so he can start working up the field. The blocking was there. If everybody executes that play, Deebo Samuel's off to the races. That is the end of the day. I'm not knocking Deebo. I love Deebo. I think he's one of the best players in the game, 1,000%. But if you're getting paid $75 million, I would hope to see a little bit more.
So I want to ask you.
And no, somebody said how he had time to pump fake it. Here's the issue with that: the linemen are working up the field. Okay, so here's the reason why the ball has to get out quickly is the linemen are basically trying to chip. If they're uncovered, they're going to work up the field. The lineman can't be more than 3 yards down the field with a forward pass.
So you don't have time to really pump.
You can't pump fake and let the receiver work up the field and then throw him the ball, because then there'd be a legal lineman downfield and that play is coming back anyways. So that's the reason why that play has to happen now, and that's it. So,
All right. So you got to answer the question.
would I say, um, would I say that Kyle got out coached? I don't necessarily think that Kyle got out coached. What I will say is this, and I said it prior. If you go into a press conference, and I like Kyle, I really do. I think that he does have a lot of good offensive stuff. And Quincy had said that last week. I think he's an offensive genius, but I think that at some point or another, there is a lot of offensive coaches out there, and I've been around them and I see it, that sometimes they do a little bit too much that kind of gets in their own way. Sometimes they get in their own way instead of just keeping it simple or whatever it may be. But I think if you're going to tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the best throwers on the planet, you're keeping it simple for too damn long then. Let Jimmy throw that damn ball down the field. Like you said, air that hoe out, right? That's Crocky's statement. Air it out. Show me that he is capable of doing these things. And if he's not, okay, then let's limit him. But it looks like he's been held back or limited. If he's a great thrower down the field, if he's able to push the ball down the field, then why are we consistently throwing the ball underneath and maybe pushing the ball 30 yards down the field one time, 2 times a game, max?
We got Bass Spokane Niner. Shout out to Spokane, man. I played them in the arena league.
Bass Spokane, Niner fan, Spokane.
He says,
I went to Eastern Washington.
Oh yeah, you did. That's in Spokane, right?
Yeah, so Samson Ebicam played at Eastern Washington. Cooper Kupp played there a year after I left. Cooper Kupp and Samson Ebicam came in there, and both of them got drafted back-to-back rounds by the Rams there. So,
great scouting by them.
Yep.
Did you see the play? I mean, did you see the clip of what? We don't know exactly what.
Yeah, the one where he's basically mouthing the play calls, effing suck.
So my co-host on Locked On 49ers, we watched it, and he thinks that there's like one too many S's in there. So essentially, he's saying he thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo was talking about himself.
He might have. Yeah, I don't know. He might.
Like your play effing sucks, or your play sucks, man. Like talking to himself, like you're playing bad.
Yeah, he might have said that. It sucked all around. Like literally, we go back. Okay, like I said, a lot of stuff is on Jimmy, no doubt. I'm not denying that one thing, but the freaking execution from everybody, the O-line specifically, was just not there. But here's the thing. At some point or another, when shit crumbles, you need to look to your quarterback to make a play, right? You look to your quarterback to make some type of play, some type of movement, some type of drill, whatever it may be, or whatever it is in the pocket to make a damn play. And that's what is not even sometimes, a lot of times lacking until we get to 2-minute offense. And then somehow, miraculously, something happens, right? Jimmy makes a play or whatever it may be. Why does it take until the 2 minutes are left in the game for Jimmy to start cooking? Why can't this happen all game? And there's plenty of games where Jimmy has done well, right? Like there's no denying that. I think that, you look at his record. He's got a winning record with the 49ers. Kyle, with Jimmy in the game, has a winning record with the 49ers. Without Jimmy, he's got a losing record with the 49ers, right? So Jimmy has done plenty of things well, but then there's other things, like a lot of stuff we saw this game, that leave you scratching your head and wanting more and think, okay, well, we could have got this from somebody else. There's other guys that are capable of doing certain things. So it's overall, I feel like I see people in the chat here, like it's frustrating. Do the play calls suck? I wouldn't say the play calls suck. I think that the play calls, again, going back to what I said, they've become repetitive. For if you truly believe in your quarterback as a quarterback and as a thrower, why are the play calls as repetitive as they've been? That's my only question. So,
And I'm gonna see if I can bring up this one play real quick because
yes, by the way, yeah, Kendrick Bourne did go to Eastern Washington. That was another guy. He played opposite of Cooper Cup there. And then there was another guy from Stockton that
yeah,
played there,
my guy
Shaq,
Shaq
right?
Hill. Yeah, Shaq
Shaq
Hill.
Hill. So
Real, you know what I'm
Eastern
saying? Stockton
Washington was,
209. I think he was the
yeah,
Brookside.
yeah.
And he
Shout
went to
out
the
to
NFL
Stockton there.
too. He was with
Yeah, he
Tampa
the
Bay
Raiders, right?
Buccaneers.
Oh, the
No,
Bucks. Okay,
Tampa.
I think it was the Bucks, and then I think he had a before he ended up leaving. I think he got signed by the Raiders or whatever it may be. I might be mistaken, but those three guys at Eastern Washington did all go for. They all three of them in the same season went for over 1,000 yards receiving. So, and Kendrick Bourne was an undrafted free agent, and again, that's one of those guys. Like Kendrick Bourne is one of those guys. Like when he left us, I was kind of devastated because I felt he had just got rolling with the 49ers. Yeah, Eric Verrier. Eric Verrier, I was hoping to have Eric for draft prep this past year. Um, I've talked to Eric plenty of times. Good kid, one of the best FCS quarterbacks to ever play. So another guy that we played and I played against, a shout out to Stockton, was Tremaine Johnson. Was one of the best guys to ever play, I think, at FCS level as far as DBs go, who
Yeah,
played it there at
Montana.
Montana. First time we ever played on the red turf at Eastern Washington, we played against Tremaine, and he made his presence known at DB. He was a very physical. Just you looked at him
And
playing
they play a
DB.
lot of like
Oh
cover two, right?
yeah,
Like
they did, but they would put him on an island on the backside, and he did his thing. But you look at Tremaine. He was like a 6'3" corner that just
yeah,
looked like a strong safety. Like he was a
yeah.
dog out there. So shout out to Stockton. Shout out to Tremaine Johnson there. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne is one of those guys. Like I was kind of that was a head scratcher for me. I get it. He was he was going to get paid, and the Patriots did pay some people in the offseason, a year ago, and he was one of those guys. And but I felt like Eric was kind of just getting rolling in the NFL, or excuse me, not Eric, Kendrick Bourne was just getting rolling, and then we ended up sending him
I,
off. So
I'm bringing this up because I was talking about why the young guys able to identify this, and the 9-year veteran didn't. So you got what looked like where they start off in too high, right? But we talked
yep,
about one guy being a little bit lower, right? So
yep.
probably rolling down, right?
So
So
here,
you
here,
get
here, stop it really quick here, Croc. So here's a teaching point, really quick. So go ahead and go to the nickel
right here,
right there. So you see his leverage, okay? Quarterback's got to know right now. He's playing where? Outside leverage of the slot receiver. Okay.
right?
So you see his leverage. You already know at this point, based off of where he's pre snap aligned, where is he trying to funnel that
Inside,
receiver? Inside. So if it was a middle of the field open coverage, he's going to try and funnel him outside. He would probably, his job at that rate is to play inside and wall that receiver off from beating him to the middle of the field, unless it's Tampa 2, where the Mike backer will drop to depth. On cover 2 or split high safeties, you don't have middle of the field help, right? So
right?
his job is to funnel them to the outside help in a cover 2 look or whatever it may be. Cover 3, right? Or cover 1, whatever the hell it may, I mean, cover 3, obviously. He's going to play outside shade because his job at that rate, he knows he has deep inside help. So he's going to funnel him to the inside safety or the free safety there because he has help across the middle. So that is a 3 high, or excuse me, a 1 high look there. And it's inside shade. Then it basically becomes a match, right? So this is the thing that people got to understand. Cover 3's principles, and you can probably touch on this a little bit more. Principles change. Like in the NFL, you look for those people who play Madden, right? It shows the little bubbles of guys that have their zones. Okay. And that zone, it's not like you just sit in that zone and just let people run by you and do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
You got to stay to that zone, right? Cover 3 in the NFL, the Niners do it too. A lot of things basically become match at that point. You know as well as I do. Cover 2, you get no flat threat. Your
You
job as a
sink.
corner is to play DB, or your job as a corner is to play the flat and cover two. If there's no flat threat, you're not just going to sit there on the flat and wait for somebody to show
You
up.
sink.
You sink the coverage because there's no flat threat, right? In cover three, just because somebody's running around in front of you doesn't mean you just have to stay in your zone. At some point or another, it becomes match coverage. You're going to end up taking them, and you become man up on it, right? So go ahead and play it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, my main thing was I was just confused with how the young guy can identify this and understand like what he has vertically, and in the key moment, the 9-year vet didn't, and I'm a little upset by that. And I probably won't let that play go. I'm mad I saw that play.
No, it's that is one of those head scratchers that, I called you, I think after the game. I called you Monday. I don't know when the hell I've called you probably 4 times this week, and somehow, we weren't even talking about the damn game, and somehow the game comes up anyways. And it was frustrating as all hell to watch. But again, this is Trey Lance playing in a freaking monsoon. Ball's probably weighing a pound at this point or plus. Slippery as all hell. And he throws an absolute dime, right? Just like a little switch concept, slot wheel here, slot fade, whatever you want to call it. He pushes outside, gets a DB turn, boom. Notice the DB is basically facing back inside. What do you do back? The DB's looking right at you. You throw it over the top. As a quarterback, the DB's looking at the receiver. You can throw it back shoulder, right? That's what kind of dictates the two of them. And throws an absolute dime here. So
that's enough.
It was good execution. Right there was good execution. And I think, again, here's some things. Last year, the Niners started slow, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree, right? Then there was some good. Then you go into the Cardinals game last year. We're playing against Colt McCoy. They get absolutely torched by Colt McCoy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then they end up going to the NFC Championship game. There's still plenty of hope, right? Like, I think there is hope. I think a lot of people, yes, it's, we're going to sit here and we're going to criticize, and there was plenty of things that were missed. There was plenty of opportunities. The defense played lights out, and we couldn't capitalize off of it. It was shit. I guarantee in every single offensive meeting this week, running backs, maybe except for the running backs, because the running backs did a pretty good job, right? But receivers, linemen, and the quarterback meeting was probably full of people getting absolutely roasted for missed assignments, missed execution, dropped balls, shitty reads, shitty drops, the whole nine, right? It was a plethora of just shitty things happening. Typically, and I think you remember, if you can win 2 out of the 3 parts of the game, you're going to be all right.
2 out of 3 phases.
2 out of 3 phases of the game. If you can win special teams and win on defense, the offense should put up enough points for you to win the game, right?
Yeah.
Defense, Super Bowl quality defense. Lights out. Everybody's doing their job. Special teams did their damn job. You got guys pinning the ball on the freaking 1-inch line, right? Hell of a play. Everybody's making plays. You give the offense 9 points and we can't win a game?
It's wild.
It's frustrating as all hell to watch. So from everything on offense, from quarterback play to the O-line to the receivers, and there was some good, right? You want to go back and look at, there's some good. There is some good. There was a lot of shit. There's some good. So it's just, you lose the turnover battle, but you won 2 out of 3 phases. That should have been a very, very easy win for the 49ers based off of how the defense played, and it's frustrating to see. Here's the thing. People are saying, I see some people saying start Brock Purdy. I'll tell you this right now. It goes back to the stuff last year. If Trey Lance wasn't ready last year, I'm just going to assume right now that Brock Purdy wasn't ready to play. The flip side of it, if people are going to say it couldn't get any uglier than what Jimmy played like. I will say this
In that game,
in that game.
I agree, but I would
Yeah,
assume that Jimmy Garoppolo would play better moving forward.
I hope so. Jimmy seems to always play good against the Rams. We'll see this week. I will say this: if Jimmy continues to play at the level he played out on Monday night, or excuse me, my days are all confused. Sunday night, the leash is going to become very, very short. Why? Because Kyle Shanahan is going to start feeling some heat, in my opinion. There's no way that you can have a Super Bowl quality defense with the athletes that you have on the field right now, that things are going to continue to slide. You can keep losing games, especially when you give up 9 points. It's not going to happen. People are going to say, yeah, Jimmy. Hey, that's fine. But at some point or another, who's got to take ownership of it all? And it's going to be the head coach of the football team. That's just the fact of the matter. We know that. Okay. So one thing I'll say, you go look at the spec catch that you saw. Was it last week? Sunday? Was it this Sunday? The Steelers receiver makes that spec catch on the sideline.
It was like Thursday or something.
Yeah, the Thursday game. I think back, and we talked about this earlier. Why we don't have a Terrell Owens type of player.
You sent me that DM where you're like, we need a guy like, and it was
we
number
need
one
a guy
Callaway
like
from the Saints.
Yeah, Callaway, right? Jameis Winston throws the ball up in the air, and Callaway snags it one-handed, goes up and get it. As far as I am concerned, this is my belief, I don't think the 49ers have somebody like that, and I don't think they've had somebody like that of those capabilities. The 50-50 ball, throw a fade route, go up and go get this damn thing. Don't matter who's the quarterback and who throws the thing. We don't have a physical outside receiver that is going to be the jump ball go-getter type of guy. And if we do, the offense that we've seen does not permit for those types of throws to be made anyways, right? Randy Moss, that's fine. We got Randy Moss when he was 75 years old. So it is what it is. But Brandon Lloyd, Terrell Owens, those type of guys.
Anquan Bolden.
But again, we used Anquan Bolden from more of the number 2, work the inside of the field, strong-handed guy that's going to make those physical catches with a safety coming down and cracking his ass, right? And people are going to say Jennings, and I agree. Jennings is a big receiver. But again, it goes back to the offense. Our offense doesn't show. We don't even take those shots. We don't even take those risks. We don't throw the ball up and let guys make 50-50 catches. That doesn't happen. So it is what it is. Somebody said the stash has been bothering you. Hey, you know what? I asked the wife the other day. I said, you want me to shave the stash off? She's loving it. So otherwise, I probably would have shaved the damn thing off 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, happy wife.
But
happy
Crabtree, if you want to say Crabtree, that's fine. Crabtree
had his moments. He had his moments.
Crabtree but that's the thing. Had his moments versus had a career of doing it. Like, that's fine. Crabtree did have his moments. But we saw in the Super Bowl when Colin Kaepernick is throwing 3 balls up to Crabtree in a row. We saw in the NFC Championship game the next year. I thought the Niners could have went and got Julio Jones in the offseason, right? He played for Kyle Shanahan. He probably would have been cheap. Now, I get it. He had his pick, right? But he probably would have been pretty cheap, relatively. You could have put him on a deal that is incentive-based. You play off of so many games. You could have gotten, however many catches, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars. But go get some type of physical receiver. And I'm not just talking for Jimmy. I'm talking for Trey in the future. Let's give these guys a bailout receiver when shit hits the fan and you need to throw the ball up in the air and give a physical receiver a chance to catch the ball, 50-50 ball. Let him have it.
I love what the Panthers did for Cam Newton, right? Like, what they do, they said, all right, we're going to go get Kelvin Benjamin, Devin Funches, right? These 6'5", 6'6" receivers. And then I'm going to give you a speed guy with Ted Ginn. So you just throw it as far as you can to Ted Ginn and just throw it as high as you can to Funches and Benjamin. And they'll make you right. And he had an MVP year.
Right. Yeah, you had Brandon. Somebody said Yeah, Brandon. I mean, you go look back at the Niners receivers. Even Jerry Rice, like those guys would make plays. You had J.J. Stokes making plays, right? Guys that were big physical dudes. Now our offense is predicated a little bit more off of speed, a little bit off of movement. The run game works when it works. It's great. When it doesn't, it's shit, right? And you go get a guy like that, just one outside guy. And people are saying, "Oh, physical Julio's washed." Well, that's fine. I get that he might be washed, but it could have been a cheap option for the 49ers,
To
right?
go get a
You
guy
got
who can go up and get it. Like, he still can go
that
up
could
and get it.
that could
And a matter of
go
fact,
up
I
and
mean,
get
we
it.
could say he's washed, but I don't know. I watched him and now he's hurt. So I mean, that's the issue, right? Like, can he stay healthy? But I watched him in that first game against Dallas. He ran right by a DB, made this amazing diving catch, like 40, 50 yards down the field. So I mean, we could say he's still
Right,
making plays.
right. Yeah, no, somebody and the Jedi is in here saying John Taylor was good, but J.J. Stokes was horrible. If you think J.J. Stokes was horrible, then I don't know how much Niners film you were watching back in the day because J.J. Stokes, he was cooking back in the day. In my opinion, I went to a
He
lot of
was
Niner
he was
games
a
as a kid.
solid he was a solid
He was a
two.
solid. I'm not saying that he was Jerry Rice, T.O., Brandon Lloyd, whatever it may be, but
Yeah.
J.J. Stokes was a good number 2 receiver in the NFL. He
And
was a
then
good complement to those guys.
I think he's judged off. He was a first round pick, so I think that's how. Like, if you're saying like, did he live up to his draft slot?
Right,
I would say probably not. Right. But like,
right.
if you're
Well,
just saying, hey, was he a solid two and definitely a legit three when TL showed up? Like, yeah,
right. Yeah, no, I agree. I would say that, yeah. And again, based off of what you gave up for him to go get him in the draft. So maybe they need to go get one of these USC receivers. I was praying this year that they would have an opportunity to go get Drake London because he's a big physical receiver, right? I watched Drake London play, grew up a USC fan, still watch USC, see the Palmer jersey in the background.
yeah. You
I
feel me?
thought that Drake London would have been a solid guy for us to pick, yet we did not have a pick. Obviously, couldn't have got him, but that's where we're at with it right now. So, yeah. And then we go
Agree.
get Brandon Gray, which I think I'm not knocking Brandon Gray. I think he's got plenty of
Danny
stuff,
Gray.
plenty of abilities. Or I'm sorry, I'm good confusing Brandon Cooks and Danny Gray
Yeah.
because it's the same type of looking guy. But Danny Gray, it I think that he does have those abilities. I think that he could be good. Right, talking to some people that played on the 49ers, some guys that I know, some receivers that I know, had said that yes, he is great straight line speed. He needs to work on some of the routes, breaking underneath, reading coverages, whatever it may be. And I think that he could get there. But you kind of went and drafted a guy that is not as physical as Debo, probably doesn't have the length as Ayuk, but is pretty similar in size. So you're going to have 3 receivers in George Kittle that are all kind of the same size. They're all kind of built the same and do the same stuff. They're not 50-50 ball go-getters. They're not the tall
They
physical
don't have that
receivers
guy. They don't
they're
have the
not the
guy,
dude that you
the
need in the
bailout
end
guy.
zone.
Well, the bailout guy,
Again, the
right? Like the
bailout
guy
guy
that makes you right when you're wrong at the receiver position.
that make a court. Basically, that's your guy that like when shit hits the fan, let's throw it up to him. God forbid. Let's just throw the ball up to him because if he's not going to catch the ball, he's at least physical enough to play defense at that rate and make sure that the DB doesn't catch the ball. So, I don't know. I just think that we went and drafted that receiver out of Illinois. Couldn't learn the playbook. I forget his name.
AJ Jenkins.
Couldn't learn. Yeah, Jenkins. Couldn't learn the playbook. I don't think that we have done besides Debo and Ayuk. I scratch my head at some of the draft picks we've made at receiver. That's just my opinion.
Kittle is 6'4", but he's not an above the rim pass catcher. That's not
No, and Kittle's
because they've given
6'4",
him
but he's
opportunities, and it's just like that's just not what he does.
yeah, that's fine. Kittle's 6'4", but Kittle's 6'4" and plays attached to the line of scrimmage or attached to the line half the time. I'm talking about outside receiver, go getter in the end zone, or end zone fades, whatever it may be. That's the type of guy that I'm thinking of, and we haven't had that in a long time. And I would like to see the Niners. Let's go get a kid from Alabama, go get a kid from Georgia, go get a kid from Ohio State that has proven themselves in college, kid from USC, because the USC receivers seem to do pretty well. Amon-Ra. You got Drake London in there. Those types of guys. And I mean,
Juju,
that's
Yeah.
Juju, whatever it may be. Those just give me somebody who's just a name recognition dude out of college that showed his worth in college, and let's make it happen. But that's my take on it. I know we've been going for a while. And maybe we'll touch base on some receivers. I know you do the draft special stuff, but maybe we'll touch base on some of these draft eligible receivers, some of these bigger guys
We will
that I
watch
think the
the
Niners
film
could
on
go
that.
after. And I think that the right side of the O-line needs help. I think this upcoming draft is probably going to be some O-line dudes, maybe a receiver or two. The DBs, we'll see what's going to happen in the offseason, if who's re-signed and who's not. But, as a DK fan, I hope the 49ers pick DK. Yeah, I would like to have a DK Metcalf on the team. Yeah. That would be nice. That type of guy. That's what I'm talking about. That type of dude. Physical, big dude that can blow the top off, or, hey, when shit hits the fan, throw it up to him, see what happens. So.
All right, man. But all right, y'all, that's going to do it for this show tonight. Greg, I appreciate you.
Yep, I appreciate everybody in the chat. I mean, I knew this was going to be one of the more controversial, maybe, type of streams here. But, I think the good thing is Jimmy has done well against the Rams as a whole. Collectively, historically, he's got a nice winning record against the Rams. I hope to see that come to fruition this week. I hope that the offensive line can make some things happen. And I hope that, since Jimmy's a badass thrower of the football, let's see him air it out this week.
Let's see him air it out. But all right, y'all, appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. And man, we see y'all same place, same time next week, Tuesday evening. We're out. Peace.
Appreciate it.